Namaste, Jai Bharat. The communists are supposed to be not having anything serious to do with religion per se. But when it comes to Hindus, the communists show, of course, these days there's hardly any communists left in Bharat. But when it comes to Hindu Dharma, the communists show some very special interests. But it really is not that they show interest in Hindu Dharma per se, but they are very concerned and very conscious about the caste system present, or which used to be present within Hindu Dharma. Some time back it was strong, and then later it is receding. It's not becoming that serious an issue now, and also in the future this will be in time in its own manner. But they are very, very interested about the castes. You look at the communists, they will always speak for the low castes and say that the high castes are exploiting them. Now these are the terminologies: exploitation, oppressions, then alienation, etc., etc., etc. So they would project as though the high castes are exploiting the low castes, and they would very consciously present the Marxian theory that the low class, or the low caste, sorry, class is their terminology, the low castes are something very something akin to proletariat, and the upper castes are something akin to the bourgeoisie concept within Marxian frame of thinking, not really doing but only thinking. So here they speak for the low caste Hindus, but they seem to be very, very blind when it comes to other religions which are non-Hindus, and they also have many sects within them, and these sects are actually very much more rigid and stronger than the so-called caste system present within Hindu Dharma. At least in the case of Hindu Dharma, the struggle against caste, or to somehow end the caste distinction within Hindu Dharma, it has been started by many, many great people, all from within Hindu Dharma. Look at Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati. He had his own way of his own attempts to destroy the caste distinctions, and many, many others. All over Bharat you will find such a great personalities, and vast majority of them were sannyasis who fought against, who struggled against the caste distinctions. But the communists, they don't want to see all those things. They would focus on the caste distinctions and caste differences, as though the caste distinctions or caste differences within Hindu Dharma, that is something very, very serious. They present it as though something very serious. They will say they present it as something very serious, and they close their eyes towards the attempts made by our sannyasis and rishis to as their struggle against caste distinction, caste system. That's one thing. Now, there are the non-Hindus. The non-Hindus are also equally very interested. Many of the non-Hindus are also very interested in speaking about the caste system within Hindu Dharma. They also say that the low castes are exploited by the high caste. No, they also sing the same song of the Marxist tune. Now, why do you think that the communists are really interested in making rectifications and reparations or corrections in the Hindu Dharma? Do you really think so? If you think so, you can't just think so. If you think so, that will be something like self-stultifying. And why the non-Hindus are interested in the castes within Hinduism, and they are actually not interested in Hindu Dharma per se. They don't want Hindu Dharma. And many of the non-Hindus, at least some of them, a good amount of them, They don't want Hindu Dharma to exist at all. Someone would ask for a Darul Islam. Some section of the Muslims, they don't want Hindus at all. They just want only Islamic rule and laws of Sharia, etc. Some kind of pan-Islamism they vouch for. So these people are also very, very interested in the caste, these things. Yeah, these two groups who are interested in the caste distinctions in Hindu Dharma, are they trying to uplift Hindu Dharma, or are they trying to help Hindu Dharma, or are they trying to take advantage of a phenomenon which is within Hindu Dharma? This is what you should understand. None of them, those who speak about caste, are even they are not even dreaming of helping the low caste in any manner. They will only say, they will speak about the low caste to obtain their goodwill, mostly for political reasons, and in other cases for some other social reasons. They want strength of people, so they appeal to the low caste people and say that we are with you, and you have been, your enemies, the high caste Hindus. Now this is what they are trying to project. Actually, the enemies are they themselves to Bharatiya Sanskriti and Bharatiya Rashtra. They are the enemies, but they will become the friends and helpers and supporters. So, and look, see, Pakistani, some people they say, they were saying in Bharat, बड़ा जुल्म हो रहा है छोटे जातों के ऊपर, ये बड़े वाले ब्राह्मण वाले तो बहुत जुल्म करता है, वो बहुत स्थिति बहुत खराब है. Yes, this kind of things they speak in Pakistani. YouTube, in social media, we can see. They, of course, Pakistanis are convinced, or they really believe that the kind of high caste, low caste distinction is there, and the high caste is really exploiting or ill-treating the low caste Hindus as they do in their society, in Pakistani society, of ill-treating someone who is downtrodden. They may be Muslims, but then among the Muslims there are various sects. Now those who are so concerned about the castes within Hindu Dharma, they are blind towards similar distinctions, maybe in different names, in the other religions. This is Dharma, that is religion, that fundamental difference always is there. They are blind towards many other kinds of sectarianisms and sects within other religions, and they project that caste is something really something very, very bad. They project it that way. But at least for Hindus, our place of worship is the same. We don't have caste based temples. Anybody can go to any temple for that matter, and the caste does not have uniformity. In different, there are castes, I'll tell you, there are castes, but then certainly don't confuse caste with Varna. Varna is a scientific structuring of an ideal society, which happened in the Vedic society, which is a different case. You can understand it, you should read. Varna, of course, is a stratification, social stratification, which is very, very well founded on very, very serious scientific principles. But caste is not that. Caste is spurious, it does not exist in reality. Because, you see, caste has no uniform character. And in different corners, the castes are different, and one doesn't understand the other caste. People may try to say the caste in area X is equivalent to caste in area when these, of course, don't work. These things are really not the case. So, in whichever area we go to Bharat, in different areas there are different kinds of castes, and they have no uniformity. One is not connected to others. And those caste mongers, I'll call them caste mongers, both communists and non-Hindus, are very, very interested in the caste distinctions within Hindu Dharma. You may know why. You know why? They want to attack the unity of Hindu Dharma. They want to attack the unity of Hindu Dharma. They want to create differences among different castes, want to destroy the togetherness of the Hindus. They divide them in different castes. This, people had been trying from time immemorial, and they are still trying. And our opposition parties, they shamelessly and blatantly spoke about caste distinction. They thought they'll win. They planned properly, but failed. So it's interesting to see the non-Hindus are so concerned about Hindu caste as though they are going to uplift. And the communists, who have nothing to do with any kind of religion, technically and theoretically, are so concerned about the caste within Hinduism. They love Hindus so much. The communists love Hindus so much. The non-Hindus love Hindus so much. They're so worried about the caste system. Get your own house in order first before trying to attack us. Get your own house in order before trying to point a finger at the Hindu society. One should be careful about such people, this propaganda mongers, those who speak sweet and trying to technically present the technical things in through statistics and stories. Be careful. We'll meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat. Jai Shri Ram.